Well, hello and welcome all you wonderful people out there in YouTube land. Welcome to the Texas Special Channel. This month's O-Scale product review is going to be these two MTH Construction Railking 6-axle flat cars. Now, these were purchased secondhand from a Goodwill in Oklahoma. And whoever owned these cars before they were donated to the Goodwill, they repainted them, which is why there is no visible lettering or anything like that. I will say they did a really good job painting them because it almost looks like factory paint. As you can see, these flat cars come with die-cast heavy equipment. This one a bulldozer, this one a forklifts. Right now it's got an excavator bucket, but it also came with forklift forks with an extendable boom, and of course the I'm drawing a blank, the stabilizing feet. I'm sure I'll think of it as soon as I'm done filming this review. These cars are die-cast metal, as are the truck frames, the couplers, wheels, and axles. So these cars are pretty much metal through and through all the way around. We've got the detailing on the truck frames there, which I'm going to attempt to zoom in on. That actually worked out fairly well. We'll throw a little additional light on it for good measure, and boom. You can see that's actually some pretty fair truck detailing for a rather low-end car. This is an 027 type car, so this is not a highly decorated scale offering. This is not an MTH Premier offering. This is the type of stuff that would theoretically come in their train sets. I am not sure if it is prototypically correct or not, but both of these flat cars have two B ends. There is no A end on either one of these cars. I work for the railroad. I'm a conductor. I'm a rail fan, but I'm not a car man or freight car mechanic or engineer or any of that other stuff. So, I mean, I'm sure it's plausible. MTH generally doesn't screw that stuff up, so I mean, so I'm only going to look at one end of one of these cars because they're both identical. The only difference is this one is red, the other one's blue. They have the same features. So looking here, you see the separately applied handbrake wheel. This is literally the only separately applied detail on this entire car other than the load. Same for that blue flat car. You have the magnetic thumbtack style operating knuckle coupler. So you have a magnetic uncoupling section of track here. The magnet pulls this disc down, which I like to call a thumbtack. That opens the knuckle. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way by hand with this little tab right here. Push down on it and boom, coupler opens. You do have some cast-on step rungs here, a cast-on plate of some variety. You've got the stirrup steps. That's really it. And the underside of this car is, it has so little detail, I'm not even going to waste time looking at the underside. Here we see a shot of the deck. Now the decks on both of these flat cars are the same. You have some nice, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be wood or steel planking. Either way, you have some good detail with some rivet detail along the edges. You have the assorted mounting holes and whatnot that you would see on the actual car to carry odd shaped and odd size, oversized loads. And you have these welding posts here which in real life would be used to mount cross beams to support weights or posts or piers of oddly shaped loads. Coming back around to this, if you decide to manually uncouple this car, be mindful that it is very easy to get that pin right there out of place where the coupler won't close. So just be mindful of that. The MTH passenger cars and MTH freight cars like this one with a longer shank for the coupler tend to have that tendency. The only thing keeping it in place is the spring back here on the screw. So if you go down too far or you push down on it at an odd angle, you can actually see it there. Now the car's not broken. That's how it's made. All right, all MTH freight cars and passenger cars, freight cars with the long coupler shanks like this one, that's how they are. Just something to be aware of if you're new to the hobby or you don't have any MTH rolling stock in your collection. These are exceptionally well done cars. They're fairly well detailed for what they are. And I've ran them around the railroad a few times. They're pretty good runners. Now, these are good for 027 curvature. And they won't look too odd running on 027 curvature because, as I said, these are the 027 type train set type cars. These are not scale cars to true 148 scale proportions. If they were, they would be a lot bigger. They'd be a lot longer. And there's no way on earth they would be able to handle 027 curvatures. A scale depressed axle flat would probably be somewhere around this length right here. So, I mean, they are what they are. For what they are, they're great. And for the price that I ended up paying for them, which was $15 and $15, when these are brand new, anywhere between $40 and $60 cars, depending on where you go, absolutely, they're great. Let's throw these bad boys on a train and run them around the railroad.
And they got the low